Hi guys, and welcome to another Divi Theme video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. We got a little hover effect for you today. We're always getting this question come up. We got a little image here with a little icon in the middle of it. When we hover over, that icon's going to go up to the top and some text is going to pop in and fade out the image right there. Great little effect to have on your desktop site. We've got to do one tiny bit of coding for this today. Don't let that put you off. Any code I write, as usual, I'll put down below. You're welcome to copy and paste it. So let's get started. I'm going to enable the Visual Builder so we can build on the front end. Okay, once loaded, let's go down to where we want to work. And I'll recreate this one next door here. So let's get rid of this module. That is actually the module we're going to use today, but we'll start from scratch. Hit the little dark button to add a new module. I've got a row here with 3 columns in it, the green tab, and it's sitting in a section, the blue tab. So I'm going to add a new module. Divi comes as standard with all the light grey modules, plenty enough to build just about any site. I'm going to use the great Blurb module today, purely because it's got an icon. There it is. I'm going to click on it. And it's going to pop it in here. For mine today, I'm not going to have a title. I'm going to take that out of there so we can actually fade the text in and out on its own. The title and the actual content text here act separately. And down below, obviously, here's where you put your content. It's just a regular text box. You can put anything in there you want. Align it, bold, italicize, add media if you want to, and create titles if you want to. That's fine for the text part of mine. Obviously, you would have some real content in there. Down below, image and icon. I want to use an icon for mine today. So I'm going to flip the little switch here that says use icon. And we can go down and choose an icon. As mine, I'm going to have fading up. I'm going to use just a simple up arrow. In fact, let's use the double arrow for this one perhaps. And there it is, as you can see right there. Okay. If you want to link your blurb and your module to something, you can put a link in here. You can have a separate one for the title and a separate one for the whole module itself, or the same link if you prefer. And always best practice, if you're linking to your own site, keep it in the same window. If you're linking off site, open it in a new tab. That way your sites are going to stay open. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I want to kind of center align my text here. And I'm going to put a background in so we can see exactly what's going on also. So I'm going to scroll down. Here's the background. I'm going to put a temporary background in. I'm just going to make it blue. There it is. So we can see everything that's going on there. Let's take that opacity down a bit so you can see that writing a little bit better. There we go. Okay, I'm now going to go into my design. I'm going to add a bit of padding just so that it looks correct. Padding is the space between the outside and the inside contents here. So if we go down to spacing on the design tab, let's say I'm going to start off with say 30 at the top. And I'll give it, say, 20 left and right. Just put the 20 in, it'll put the pics in. Hit the chain, it'll do the opposite side for you. That's great. And I want to make both my writing and my icon white. Still on the design tab, let's just shut up spacing right here. Let's go to my icon. I'm going to make it white in color, and I want it to be a lot smaller. I think I used 30 for that one, so let's use 30 again. So to make it smaller, we'll roll down a bit, image icon width. I'm going to simply type in 30. And again, it'll put in the pics. That's made it the size I want it. You can use the slider, and you can also increment up and down with the little arrows there. And image icon alignment, it's fine for me, right in the middle there. Fantastic. And I also want this text to be white so it stands out a bit better against our blue background there. So let's just close up the image and icon. Just below we've got text. And I can simply flip that from dark to light. And of course, if you want any other color, just go down, here's the body text, and you can style it any way you want with colors, fonts, capitalizing, what have you. And Divi, as I'm sure you know if you've watched any of my other videos, has a huge amount of fonts. Just click on the body font there, and you can choose whatever font you want for this particular module. To audition a font, just roll over it and it'll give you an example of it. I'm going to keep mine on the default today. but you've got plenty to choose from there. Only thing I really want to do here is I'm going to pop that all in the middle. Fantastic. Okay, well I want a bit more padding on the bottom of here because I want that to look full, and I want it to be the same as I want over here. The way this works today, if you've seen any of my image to text hover effects before, the actual image that we're looking at there resides in the column. So I'm going to sort of cover this. It doesn't matter if I put too much padding on the bottom because I'm going to hide any overflow in the column in a minute. You'll see what's going on. So still in the design, let's go back down to our spacing, add a bit more on the bottom there. I'm going to make it quite a lot. I'm going to say 100 pixels there, and it'll spill down further than I want it, but that's okay. We're going to fix that in a minute. Okay, well let's put our image in the background here, then we can start positioning our module. And like I say, the image resides in the column. So we're going to save our blurb settings. I'm going to click on here, go into the row, which is the green tab. We've got 3 columns here, 1, 2, 3, left, center, right. I'm working on the center one. I want to put a background image in there. And we've got color, gradient, image, video, background pattern or background mask. I'm going to pop an image in. Just pop in whichever image you'd like to put in yours. I think I'll use that. You can vaguely see it behind there because I've got the opacity slightly down on that color there. So there it is right there. Now I want this column to be the same size as our other one. We're going to scoot this whole module down in a minute. So I don't want to see anything that's falling out. So while we're in the column, let's fix that. To do that, we need to go to the advanced. I'm going to give it a fixed height with some custom CSS. So go down to custom CSS, and here's our little line of code. Really easy, but I'll put it down below for anybody that wants to copy and paste it. I'm simply going to write height, colon, 300 pixels, 300 px, semicolon. That's now given this a fixed height, and you can actually see where it's cut off the image there, and we just got our blue background. But of course I don't want to see anything spilling out of the bottom of here. So to fix that, I could either write overflow hidden in our CSS here, or we can actually, in our advanced tab, if we roll down a bit, we've got visibility, and we can just check 2 little boxes here, horizontal and vertical overflow, changing them both to hidden, and that will disappear. Great. So that's our image in the column taken care of. So all I want to see initially, let's save our column changes and our row changes, and we'll go back into our module here. All I want to see initially with our module is just the icon, and I want it to be down here somewhere. Then I want the text to sort of fade in or slide up when we look at it. So let's do that. To do that, we need to go over to our design again and into our spacing. And we've got padding on the top. And what I want to do is I want to push it down until our little icon's similar sort of place as it is here. So I'm going to add, let's add, I know this is 300. Let's probably just put 200 in front of there and see where we are. That's exactly right. That's going to work for me. We've got a little bit of that text spilling out in there at the moment. That's all right. We can hide that in a minute. But I just want to see the perfect picture. I don't want to see any of that blue background here when we're not hovering over it and when our icon's down there. So to do that, let's go back into our content, and that's our background color there. What I'm actually going to do is take this opacity all the way down to 0 so it's completely transparent. To do that, I'm going to click on it. I'm going to roll this all the way down, and we're left with the image and that little icon right there. Fantastic. But then when I hover over it, I want that color to come back. So we can set our hover state, and this is common to most Divi modules. If you hover over the dark writing there, you'll see those little icons appear. If there's an arrow there, there is in this particular case, we can set a hover state and a desktop state. So our background on the desktop, when we're not hovering over it, I want to be totally transparent like that. When we hover over it, I want to bring that blue color back. So I'm going to click on the little arrow to set the hover state. I'm going to click on my color field here, which I took the opacity all the way down, and I'm going to bring it all the way back up again. Now, if you decide you want to see some of the image through there, even when the writing's there, just don't take your opacity up all the way, and you can have a hint of the image coming through, and you'll still be able to read the writing and see the icon. But that's entirely up to you. I'm going to get mine fully visible at the moment. Now we're going to do a similar thing. Let's put it back on desktop mode. Like I say, there's a little bit of text right there. What I'm going to do is go into my design. I'm going to go down to body text right here. And here's the color. I'm going to set it to white. But what I'm going to do is roll over till the icons come up again. I'm going to grab the little arrow. So when we're not hovering over it, I don't want to see it at all. So again, I'm going to click on the color and take the opacity or transparency or see-throughness all the way down to 0. I don't know if you can see that, but it has actually disappeared there. Then when we are hovering over it, click on that color again. I'm going to bring that all the way back up. And of course, we want to be able to read our writing, so we want this to slide up to the top when we're hovering over it so we can see the writing. So still in the design tab, we need to go down to our spacing. And again, the padding. Hit the little arrow. Regular state, I want it to be down there as it is. If I flip that to desktop, it's fine where it is and we don't see the writing. When we hover over, I'm going to take that 200 off again, so it's just 30 pics. Again, I'm just putting in the 30 in the pixels. And we've got our writing up the top there. And desktop, down the bottom, and no color. Fantastic. Now the time it takes to get from one to the other by default with Divi is 300 milliseconds, which is pretty quick. For this particular one, it seems to work really well though. If you want to slow that down or even speed it up, you can go to your advanced in the blurb settings here, and we can go down to transitions. There's the default 300 mils. You can slide this up or type in a value. I'm going to leave mine on the default. That works for me today, but if you do want to slow it down or speed it up, this is where you can do it. Okay, so if we've done everything correctly today, this should now all work. So let's save our changes. We'll save the page changes. Save draft or publish if you're ready. And let's exit the visual builder. We'll go on down to where we were working. There's our two little images there with the little icons. When I hover anywhere over this, that first one's going to pop up, and the second one, similar. And it's taking the 300 milliseconds to get from the bottom to the top here. And that's a nice little effect. Of course, these hover effects work best on desktop sites. It will work on a tablet or a mobile, but they'll have to click on it to make the actual hover effect. So I hope you've enjoyed this today and found it useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, ring the bell, comment, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you have any web design questions, please drop them down below, and I'll do my best to make a video for you. Once again, this has been Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.